What's up, everybody?
Hey,
we're back.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're back for. I know every episode is exciting, but this episode is specifically exciting.
This one's all of them. This one.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
This one,
A lot of hype to live up to now.
Yeah, but if you guys haven't recognized the voice on the show yet, we have our pal Greg Sorber.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Yep. The author of the, can I say, prolific series, sci-fi
Nice.
opera epic series, Mechhaven.
Mechhaven. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's on the show today. We had him on twice before. Well, once
Before, and
then,
the second time,
snafu
got
time,
a little
yes.
snafu.
Yeah, a bit of a technical issue that happened. I
Right.
still don't know how.
Which was a really fun interview.
It was
Lots of time.
It was a great interview. You just got to
That's-
trust us on that.
Yeah. 6 hours for it.
Think
But
about the best interview you have ever heard and times it by 2.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
That's what it was.
yeah, exactly.
You would have loved it.
Yeah. Oh, but I forgot to mention, my name is Trent.
And my name is Mark.
And I'm Greg
Yeah,
Sorber.
oh, yeah, this is
Geek Off the Street.
The greatest podcast of all time. We're talking about geek culture, pop culture, whatever else you want. Deal with that. I don't know all the weapons. I like
Get right in there.
the pistol that they use when they kill the Zen rats. That's I want one of those. But anyway,
want
yeah, this week's no exception. As I already talked about, we have Greg here to talk about the awesome Mechhaven series, and we're going to get right into that after we mention this drink real quick.
Yeah, Roy.
Yeah, so I came up with this drink. This was specifically designed for Greg's book. On the planet of Mechhaven, there is a bar, so to speak, where all the mechs and the few humans meet, called the Black Hole.
Correct?
This is one of the drinks, the mech's drink called the Supernova.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I had to actually make it for human consumption because there's a
Right,
lot of
thank you very
additives.
much. Yep,
and
we don't
gas-
wanna die.
Yeah, gas, oil, all that kind of stuff in their drinks. So this is the human version of it. It's got some mezcal, pomegranate juice, prickly pear syrup, lime juice, and some cayenne pepper to add a little spice to it.
Yeah.
You got to have that like engine oil burning supernova kind of
There's
thing.
a lot of that in there.
Yep.
And
That's
it's
some sesame
delicious.
oil.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
Yeah.
it's tasty. Yeah, so thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. I hope it's good enough.
It's
to
sweet
be
and
making.
smoky.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
the
very
sweet,
good.
the sweet
With
and
a touch
smoky.
of spice.
Yep, that sweet and smoky thing has become my jam recently. I'm
Yeah,
really into that.
You done all right with a couple of them.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
I mean,
that.
I don't like you, but you did pretty good with those.
I also don't like you, but I appreciate the compliment.
These
You
guys,
heard 'em, everybody.
these guys,
You heard 'em.
They gotta love them both, even though they don't like each other.
But yeah, that's the drink. There's going to be a recipe card, a video of it. Mix it at home while you're reading one of these books, or all of them at the same time, if you can do that.
But you should read them in order.
Yeah.
Don't try to read them all at the same time. You can try that. It's better to read them in order.
Yeah. I just just read just have all screens open
Yeah.
with the ebook and just
Right,
read them all
right,
at once,
just,
one page at a time. Yeah. That's the way to do it. But yeah, no. So we're here to talk about Mechhaven. We're talking about Greg.
Yes.
Yeah. So you recently concluded the 5-book Mechhaven epic with
Yes.
by Archangel's Light, September 22nd.
Yes, it was in
Right?
September I sent it out. Yep,
Yeah.
I published it.
Right. Yeah. That's when it came out. It's been out for a few months now.
Yeah.
How do you feel, man?
Right? Yeah.
wow.
How do you
Books.
get into this? Yeah. How do you feel?
This is like mixed emotions. You know, you love all your books, and at various points in their creation, you hate them too. And so, for the last time I was on the show, I think we had just put out Rally Point.
Yes.
And I messed up your mic. I'm sorry.
Just
and
Mark's
so
side.
it took me almost 2 years to write and edit and publish by Archangel's Light. And part of that was work, life, writing, everything. Just like it was really, really, really tough book to like just get momentum going. Especially now, like most of the other Mechhaven books were either written and finished or started during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
And then now life is like back to normal, like nothing ever happened. And so the time to write is less. Work distractions are more. And so it was a really hard book to maintain momentum on. But like, you don't need to know that. You just have to, when you're reading it, you need to know that it's a good story.
Yeah.
But for the writer, it takes a lot of time to like put all the pieces together, stitch them together, smooth it all out, make it look like a masterpiece, right?
Yeah.
And so that was just a really tough book. And one of the things I found when I was writing the first draft was I was like, okay, I can't quite finish the end because I got to go fix some of the things I need to fix back in the beginning. And so when I went back and started editing, fixing things, filling things in, I ended up writing an additional 30,000 words, which is a pretty good chunk of words.
Yeah.
And it ended up being my biggest book by far. It's like 165,000 words. It is a little bit of a doorstop, but I really had to give the characters the closure they needed.
Yeah.
Some of the best, most poignant scenes are in this book that I've ever written. There's some just really fun scenes. There's some cool, it's definitely epic. There's space battles, there's ground combat, there's touching scenes between humans, there's touching scenes between mechs. And it was by the time I got done through the editing process, between the self-edits that I did, the things my editor sent back to me, and the more edits that I did afterwards, it really is, I think, a really special ending. And so mixed emotions overall. Elation, I'm happy to be done with the series. Kind of one of the other stumbling blocks I had doing by Archangel's Light was, I would say maybe halfway through, ideas started hitting my mind for my next series. And I already had ideas for it, but they hit them and they hit hard. And the creative, the sirens, the muse, whatever, was calling me to start this other series. And I had to force myself. I was like, no, I have to finish Mechhaven. I have to get this book done. And so that took a lot of discipline to really stay focused and not go on to the next project, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah, definitely.
So questions.
I was just going to ask really quick. So when you do have those flashes of inspiration, I mean, you've been working on the series for years. Do you ever work on like two different projects at the same time? Or do you just like 100% stay focused on the one?
So what I did, because I kind of know my focus, I need to stay focused, right, on the main thing. Because if you get too distracted, then it becomes even harder to go back to what you're working on.
Right on.
But I do have a little notes app on my phone, and I will title whatever I think the title's going to be. And like when I'm in the middle of the night in bed, I'll jot some notes down. So at least I'm not losing those ideas.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll be scenes, sometimes it'll be characters, sometimes it'll be names. And so those I don't want to lose. So I do have an app, but actual sit down writing time, I totally stay focused on what I'm working on. Yeah.
Is it like people say, like when you just you hear something, you have a thought when you're in the shower or you're eating breakfast and you just have a thought of something, it's like, oh, I need to write that down. Yeah,
totally. Because if you don't write it down right away, you think, oh, this is good, I'll remember it, but you don't always.
Yeah,
sometimes you do, but a lot of times you don't.
Yeah.
And so you want to capture those ideas.
Yeah, I get that, man. Sometimes if I have like little flashes of ideas for some things I'm working on, if I don't write it down right away, I'll be like, that's so good, I'll remember that. And I get home, like, what was I even thinking about today?
And you're mad about it. Yeah,
exactly.
I'll send a text like to myself.
Oh, that's a good way too. Yep.
And I have it all. Yeah, but my text to myself is, there's so much random stuff in there too. It's
then
a
trying
mess.
to find it is really tough.
Oh yeah. No, I have like these old like voice memos of me just humming melodies that I'd hear melodies and I'd hum it. I'm
that's cool.
I'm gonna develop that later, and never came back to it. But I just have hundreds of them just in my thing I've been looking at.
Wow.
That's pretty interesting how that works.
Staying focused is
Very
the
cool.
key. Because otherwise,
Yeah.
you're gonna be in all over the place.
Yeah, it's just a little too thin, But So was it emotional saying bye to these characters?
It really was. So especially because some of the scenes are like their final scenes, and so that is sad for some of the characters. And some there's openings, right?
Yeah.
To leave it open for further stories, but not everybody gets that opportunity. So there's definitely some sadness and a tiny bit of swagger for finishing a series, right?
Yeah,
we all know there's other artists out there who don't finish a series, and there's a lot of people who won't even start a series unless
Because
it's
they know
finished.
It's not done. Yeah.
So just having it finished is nice, and then you can walk in and whenever I do my pitch at shows and stuff, I make sure to say this is a complete series, and for some people that definitely makes a difference too.
Oh yeah. So that's a huge deal.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I know plenty of people that are mad if the series isn't in it. We're not talking about any series in particular right now. We all know what you're thinking. We all know what you're thinking. But there are other authors that have done that have written series and they walk away from it or they do whatever for whatever reason and they don't come back to it, and it frustrates a lot of people. So that's the good thing about this one. This is a full set. You're not going to be, left out to dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it or hate it, it's a complete series, right? It is there for you to consume and enjoy.
But completely, tons of credit, man, for completing a whole 5-book series. And these are full-length novels, man.
Yeah.
So it's a huge feat, man. So
thank you very much.
Congratulations on doing it, man.
Thank you.
And I just I'm not saying this because you're here, but I'm on Darkhaven Forged right now. I love sci-fi. Sci-fi is my thing, and these books are fantastic, man. I'm hooked. I get into the last third of the book when stuff's ramping up. I don't put it down, man. I think both,
I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, both Mechs and Machinations and Pax Machina. The last third of the book is all just fights and battles, and it's really engaging, man. It's really interesting. You get that feeling when you're reading and you're excited. Yeah, I get those from your books, man. They're really well written, man. So if you like sci-fi, dude, these are the books to read. And I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, somebody I know personally.
Space opera.
Yeah.
Sorts,
yeah,
right?
space opera. Yep.
Yeah, it's
if you like Transformers, you like Gundam, you like Pacific Rim, you just like any sort of space adventure, Star Wars, any of that stuff. This is kind of right up your alley.
Yeah.
Very
Cool.
cool.
Exactly. Yep. And that's who I am. I'm a sci-fi dude
Right
through
on.
and through. So this is my jam. Yeah.
Did you ever consider splitting the final book up into 2 books?
Funny you should ask that. When I originally decided it was going to be a series, I kind of wrote Pax Machina as a standalone because it kind of wraps up and it's a complete story. And then I finally decided when I was editing it, I was like, oh no, really, there is room for a series. And so I started planning the series.
Wow.
And I originally planned for 6 books.
Okay.
And then for a variety of reasons, as I start paying for covers and paying for editing, I'm like, it'd be better if I just wrap this up in 5. So I'm going to wrap it up in 5. But as I finished it, as you can see, that's quite a thick book.
Yeah. But it's complete.
I was like, it probably could have been 6 books. I probably could have split it up into another book. But that's okay, because basically the way I look at it is that's bonus content for reading the whole series. You get a nice, juicy doorstop for the final book. And I'm not splitting it up just arbitrarily to make more money.
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Good point. Good
As
point.
they do with movies and they do with other book series. So I'm like, nope, I'll just finish it. And so
but I
like
mean,
5.
I know when we were at cons and we went to the convention, we were just kind of talking and hanging out with you, and then people just walk up and I want the whole set.
I love that moment.
I know.
I
I'm
love those moments.
Damn.
Yeah. I think I saw 2 people.
Yeah, a couple times. It's not like it happened once. It was
the full set. I think was it the one con that we were at? We saw him and
WonderCon.
WonderCon.
There were 2 or 3 guys that
they just walked up and
witnessed
just kind of looking and talking a little bit.
Take those
I'll take them all. Just very casual and nonchalant. Give me everything you've got.
Yeah.
And I was
that's a great feeling. That makes your day when somebody takes that type of a risk.
Yeah.
You tell them what it's about, and but when they just walk up and say, "Yeah, I'll take all of them," that is just yes, please.
And then you autograph them, you sign them.
Yeah, I sign everybody's books whenever they buy them at a show, or if you buy them from me direct online. I don't have a web store, but I will definitely. You get in touch with me, I'll make it happen.
Right on.
Nice. Yeah.
You know what I love that you just said? You appreciate that people are taking the risk.
I was going to say something about that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that you acknowledge that and you're aware of it, and you're like, I need to come through for these people. Because earlier, just an FYI, this was before we were doing the show and everything, we were kind of talking and hanging out or whatever. He had a fan that came up to him, bought all the books, and was like, I want a shirt for all the books. And there were no t-shirts or whatever, but he says, you know what, I'll figure it out, I'll make it happen. And he got t-shirts to this fan that wanted a t-shirt with every cover on it. There's you don't have to do that. It's just, it's not fair. Thanks for stopping by kind of thing. But you go that extra mile for the fans, for the people. You know what I mean? And I like hearing somebody doing that kind of thing. I like somebody thinking that I'm not just a consumer. I'm not just here to give you money so you can, put it in your pocket and, go buy a jet. I don't know what you do.
But for me, it's, yes, I want to make money. Every author does, every artist does. But for me, it's not about the money. It's about the experience. I want you to read the books. I want you to enjoy the books. Yeah. And if having a t-shirt makes it that much more enjoyable, that's great for me. And then plus it's like free advertising. So that's awesome.
We're gonna work on getting some.
So now I just got to think about like opening up a store, doing an online, store where that happens automatically. But right now it's not like people are beating my door down to get shirts, so it's not a problem for me to handle one-off type things. So.
Right.
Very cool.
But you do it.
But I do. I'll totally do it. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So everything's wrapped up. You're going to be moving on to other projects. I know when we've spoken before, you've said you've got like a bunch of other ideas. But before we, talk about anything else, is there ever a possibility or a chance you might come back? You wrote one book and then you turned it into 5. So is there a possibility you might come back to the...
So yes, the short answer is yes.
Everybody.
I feel good now.
I've written the 5 books, plus there's 2 novellas. I usually do those. Those you can get for free online anytime if you sign up for my mailing list. I have a 3rd novella about halfway through. That one I decided to stop so I could focus on the new project. But in terms of Mechhaven's future, I have at least 2 more novellas that wrap up some things I want to do with some of the characters. They take place kind of before the series even starts. So those are fun. I would love to tell if you've read any of the books, one of the main characters, Misty, she not always, but she mentions she had a former lover named Ace who died in the war that happens before Mechhaven. And so I would love to tell that story of her and her former lover, Ace. Actually, he was her fiance at one point, who I don't want to say what happens, but anyways, it doesn't end up well for him.
Yeah.
But it would be a great kind of wartime epic story to see what's going on. And I have some really good ideas of how to tie it into the whole Mechhaven series.
Nice.
And so I'd really like to tell that story at some point. It would definitely be kind of a different story because it would be more character focused. And it would definitely focus on Misty and Ace and kind of what's happening during the war and how it's affecting them.
Nice. You think we can get another? You think you'd ever do anything like other additional stuff about the first war? Like,
so that's the thing. I could do like a George Lucas and go back and do a bunch of prequels about the war. I don't know if I'll do that other than that one story because I think that one story I could probably do everything that I want to do with that. Because the thing is that the thing that makes Mechhaven special is what happens when they get to Mechhaven. Right. That's when the mechs start being named and start getting a little more autonomy and stuff. And so that's kind of where the story really starts. But they're still there ahead of time. They just don't have all their names. So and it would just get a little tedious to refer to them by their designations all the time.
Right, yeah.
So
that's fair. Okay.
Yeah. So I think I can tell everything I want to that happens before with that one story. Now, whether it's 1 book, 2 books, or 3 books, I don't know.
Okay.
I would have to think about it.
Nice.
But I do have some solid ideas for the future of Mechhaven.
Okay.
I do leave some openings for things to happen in the future. It'll probably be far in the future. I'm not quite sure how far in the future. It would deal with some of the same characters because they're mechs, right? So they're kind of, they don't necessarily have a normal lifespan. Even the humans, there's ways I could extend their lifespans. So you might have some of the same characters. I would introduce a bunch of new characters. I do have an idea for a storyline of, I can't really say anything because it'll give away spoilers for the final book. But yeah, I do have ideas. And so at some point, I would love to go back and play in the sandbox, but it will probably be quite a few years before I do that.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. That's like a Children of Dune situation where it's just far in the future.
I mean, it wouldn't be quite that far in the future, but it would be probably, it would be maybe 100 to 200 years, maybe.
Just make sure you stick around to finish it.
Exactly.
I have confidence maybe your son can finish it for you, but
they could if they wanted to.
But
well, that's what Frank Herbert's son did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So so some of those I had Oh, so you have been doing cons though, right? That's what I wanted to discuss a little bit.
I was
Right?
gonna say something else, but you go ahead.
No, that's all good. What'd you have?
No, I was gonna kind of talk about like developing the characters a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So for me, developing characters happens a lot of different ways. I think the biggest way that's maybe unique to me, I don't know for sure. Sometimes a name will just pop in my head. I'll have a name. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I'll get an idea for a name.
Yeah.
Let's say Dennis Greer, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so like the name Dennis Greer pops into my head, and I'll be like, who is Dennis Greer, right? It's like, what story does he belong to? And so then I'll think about it. Sometimes it happens while I'm in the middle of a story, and so that's fine. It's easy to work them in. Other times it'll be a name for a completely different series, and I'll be like, and so I have in my notepad, I'll have a lot of notes that say who is, and it'll be the name of a question. It'll be the name of a character with a question mark, and then that's for me.
Yeah.
Then that triggers my mind to think about, well, who is this person?
So a little mystery for
what
yourself.
is their story?
Yeah.
And so then I'll start thinking of it, and that's kind of how the character comes about. Is like, who is this person? And
Okay.
I think one of the characters, we have a character in this story. I'm thinking, when does he come in? I think he comes in book 3. Yeah, I think he comes in book 3. His name is Grigory Volkov. And that was kind of a situation where the name popped into my head. And I was like, well, who is he? Right. And so then I figured out who he was and then worked him into the book. And he plays a big role in books 3, 4, and 5.
Wow,
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, not a big role, but he plays a
Yeah.
role. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That's
Nice.
that's interesting. It sounds fun to be like something pops up and you got to like solve. It's like you got to solve the crime, or so to speak, like the mystery. Who is this guy?
Yeah, and
You know?
then I'm waiting for either that character to tell me who they are, or a situation where like, oh, this is who they are. They fit here.
yeah.
You know, obviously this is where they belong, and so
yeah.
so that's really fun. I don't know if any other authors do it that way, but that's the big way that I come up with characters.
Yeah.
Other times you're just in a scene and you're writing something, and you're like, oh, I need a character to do X, Y, and Z. And so you're like, okay, can any of the existing characters do it? Nope, they're all doing other things somewhere else. So I have to create a new character. And that kind of happened in book 5. There's a couple scenes where like all the characters are spread out doing things. I'm like, well, who's gonna help Misty do X, Y, and Z? Or who's gonna help this character do this? So I had to create like 4 or 5 new characters that we hadn't heard of before. But obviously Mechhaven, there was like 200 mechs at the beginning. And so they get whittled down. So there's a lot of characters I've never named. And so some of those new ones popped into book 5. Yeah. But they had to feel like they've been there the whole time.
Gotcha. Okay.
How in depth do you go with the characters once you start to unravel who they are? Do you start figuring out like, you know, their parents, like, do they grow up like with a single parent? They grow up on the streets? Like, do you go like that deep into it?
I would say for Mechhaven, I never really went too deep unless it was needed for the story.
Yeah.
For my new thing that I'm working on, sometimes their backstory plays an important role.
Yeah.
So some of those I have to know a little bit more details on. Yeah.
How far in advance, like say for like a main character like Misty, how far in advance did you know where her story was going to go?
Honestly, with Misty, I was kind of flying by wire.
Oh.
I mean, I knew where
It just kind of revealed itself.
It revealed the story basically revealed her situation, and I kind of knew where she had come from. I knew kind of why she was at Mechhaven, and kind of her reason for being there was she was kind of just tired of everything and needed a place to just vibe and chill out and not be confronted with the horrors of war, which she basically, in her backstory, she loses her fiance.
Yeah.
And then she decides to come and be the administrator of Mechhaven. And then from there, we know that living in Mechhaven was not quite as peaceful as everybody had hoped it would be.
Yeah.
And so she's always being confronted with decisions about, well, do we fight? Do we not fight? Do we stand our ground? Do we not stand our ground? And so she's constantly confronted with these hard decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's I do hear a lot of people talk about that the story reveals itself, the characters reveal itself to you, or they tell you where the story goes.
There's some stuff that happened to Misty in the final book that I just did not know was going to happen until it happened, and I was like, oh crap.
Like you're surprised too.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, that's cool. Yes, I always die on the hill of like character development and story. That's my thing. That's the most important thing with everything, for movies, for everything. And I always wonder about how people develop those kind of characters or those storylines that are engaging.
Yeah, I remember. I don't remember it exactly, but with Tolkien when he wrote The Hobbit, like it started off as like a little note where he says there was a hole in the ground in which a hobbit lived or something like that, and that was it. Like he just wrote that. Yeah, and then all of a sudden that just revealed itself, and it turned into Lord of the Rings, Silmarillion, all that nonsense.
And that's
just
crazy.
kidding.
I mean, he literally created histories and languages, and that's a little too crazy. Let's not get carried away.
Simmer down. Stop showing off, Tolkien.
Although it's wonderful, I love it. But I'm glad he did it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Tolkien's like the man.
He's okay. And there goes the show.
He read a couple good books.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he did all right. He did all right. Let's see where it goes.
A couple of good movies.
Yeah. We'll see where it goes. Maybe there's hope for him. What were you going to say before I kind of cut you off?
No, I just know you were doing conventions a lot. We ran you to a few conventions, right? Was it a couple we saw?
I think we've seen each other at a couple. The last one was WonderCon, which I did the famous interview.
Yeah, the famous interview.
The one that's the best interview ever.
I like a Pulitzer winner right there.
I think I said a few controversial hot takes.
So
So that was really good. I really like Dan to Dan, by the way.
I was gonna come back to that today. I have something to say. I want to ask you about Dan to Dan today.
We asked you what anime character you related to.
Yeah, which one I wanted to destroy, which one I wanted to destroy. That was a fun conversation.
That was a good interview. Yeah, that was good. That was good. You guys never see it, but it's for trust. That was for us. That was for us.
I've been doing a lot of shows. So I found that, I mean, selling books can be hard, right? It's a lot of competition, and so you can pay Amazon to advertise, you can pay Facebook to advertise, you can do TikTok, which takes constant daily feeds of videos and stuff to get it out. Wow. People who succeed at that do really, really good, though. But I've really found that I do enjoy selling books in person. I like talking to people. I like doing my pitch for the book one. Usually you pitch book one because that's how you got to sell book one before you can even sell the other one. So I really enjoy that. And so at first I was like, I'll just do 3 or 4 shows a year because I work a full-time job, right? So I don't want to always use my weekends on this. Plus I need time to write the books. But I've been slowly increasing the amount of shows and cons that I do. And I'm finding it's not being a huge issue in my life. So I really enjoy it. So a couple I've been to recently, LA Comic-Con, that was the biggest show I had been to.
Oh, yeah.
And it was big.
That one's a zoo,
There was a ton of competition, probably too much. It's one of those things that I was in Artist's Alley, and there were other authors right around me too, which was good. We kind of had a little baby small press section.
Oh, nice.
But they had another small press section upstairs, so it was kind of split. So it was really hard to find readers at that show. It was tough. Wow. I mean, I was talking to the other writers next to me. There were writers to my left, writers across the way. We were talking back and forth, but it was really hard to sell books at the show. And part of the reason too is we were in the Artist Alley. They were doing autograph signings. So people are going to get autographs signed. They're spending $100, $200 getting things signed. They don't have any money left when they're coming out.
Right.
So they didn't really want to stop and talk to people about books.
Got it.
So that one, LA Comic-Con, while it was fun being there, it was a great experience, networked with a lot of people. It was not like the best one for me to sell books at. So it's fine. It's like live and learn. I always look at all these shows as a learning experience, a time to talk to fans and, network with other authors, which is really good. And as a matter of fact, out of that con and a couple other cons I've been to, I've got a couple of author friends now that we're going to bond together and do some other shows together where
nice.
instead of each of us getting a booth, we might just get one booth and share. Cut the costs a little bit, especially for the bigger shows like LA Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Or, if someday maybe we'll go to San Diego Comic-Con. I know the plan is to maybe do Los Angeles Festival of Books.
Oh, very
we've
cool.
already got an in on that, so it's just a matter of working out the final details. And so that's kind of a bucket list one for authors to go to.
Oh,
Nice.
I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That sounds great.
But a couple of weeks after LA Comic-Con, I went to Gamicon in Palm Desert, and that was just like a little local show. It was mostly about video games. There was a couple of artists there. There was some voice actors. There was a couple of random vendors. I didn't see any other people selling books, and those 2 days at Palm Desert was my best show ever. I sold more books in 2 days than I'd ever sold before, and that was the show where the one lady bought all my books and wanted to buy the shirts, and I had another group that bought all the books, and so that was fun. And I was like, wow, I was not expecting that, and the cost of that table was relatively cheap, so that was like a really profitable weekend, and I was like really really happy about that. And after coming off LA Comic-Con, where I wasn't like totally bummed, but I was a little bummed that it wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be. That was like a really good way to, kind of refresh my spirit.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe the more smaller, intimate ones.
The shows I've found, it's hard to predict. Like WonderCon last year was great.
Yeah.
WonderCon the year before was kind of slow because it was on Easter, it was raining, and it was kind of
weird.
It was kind of weird. So I don't know. Sometimes I think it's just the vibes of the particular show.
Yeah.
And then, did you want to? I have another one. I've been to.
Super interesting. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. The last one I was at was Reader Nation. It's a one day reader event that's put on by Author Nation, which is it's an in-person author conference where they have vendors and stuff where you can go learn about all these different vendors you can use. And then it was like 3 days of like workshops and classes, and it's like newbies bumping elbows with best-selling authors, and it was a lot of fun. And then so the reader event went really, really well. It was a one-day all-genre show, so they have all genres. It's just authors selling books, so that's the only thing there. Is a great place to get ideas to see how people set up their booths. I'm going to borrow several ideas I got from. I took a lot of pictures, but it was. I got some solid compliments on my booth setup from some people that I respect, so that was nice. I was
cool.
I know that person, and they said my booth looks nice. That's awesome. So that was cool. And I sold a decent number of books for considering a lot of authors had pre-orders, and people just came and picked up their books there. So it was most author things, every author wants every author to succeed, but at some point people do run out of money. I did sell a lot of books for the number of authors there. And what was really fun is I gave my pitch about 30 times. And, so you really start to hone it. Normally you give it a few times an hour, but I was like, it was open for 6 hours, and like I said, I might have given it 30 times, maybe a few more than 30 times. And it was funny because towards the end of the day, it was closing, and people still were coming up, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I was like, time me. And I was like, can I get it done? And I just went, and they were like, wow, you did that so fast, but I understand everything you said. So, so that was a lot of fun. And so upcoming, I've got Pasadena Comic-Con in January. That's a one-day show.
Nice.
WonderCon in March. I like that show. It's kind of probably the biggest one I'll target individually. We're working on getting into the LA Times Festival of Books with a couple of other authors, because those ones it's really pricey to do that show.
Oh, gotcha.
And the booth is really expensive, so we're going to split it between, I think, 4 of us.
Oh, okay.
And kind of work together on that. So that's always good. Having somebody to watch your back or to help promote your stuff is really good.
That's cool, man. Got all you guys coming together too.
It's a lot of fun. It's kind of, we're kind of got a little ad hoc group that we got a little Discord server where we talk about things and.
That's nice, man. You got that camaraderie.
It's really good.
That's cool.
Yep. And then I'm always looking for more shows. When we talk about my other project, that'll open up some other opportunities for some additional type of shows that I can go to.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because we've talked, I mean, we've covered cons as, as press, as just going, I guess technically kind of sort of always as press on some level, but sometimes we're just, fans that are going, but I never have known the vendors experience.
Like the booth side,
the booth side of things, right? I haven't seen that aspect of it, so it's kind of cool to kind of get a little bit about that. You got to think about how much it's going to cost, how long you're going to be there, and again, like I said, the size of it, the intimacy of it, all these different factors go into it when you're figuring that out. But you just got to throw it all against the wall, I assume.
You do,
right?
yeah. And then you have to decide, okay, well, where is it at? Do I need a hotel, or will I be able to commute? The Palm Desert one I just commuted to, that was fine. Usually WonderCon, that's when I'm like, okay, I'll splurge a little bit and stay the night at the hotel down there, so I don't have to drive to Anaheim in the morning.
Yeah.
That can get tough. Working all day and then going back and forth. Yeah,
that's Southern California traffic.
Yeah, you never know what that's going to be.
No fun. No fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. That's awesome. I was gonna say, I don't even know what I was gonna say. I completely don't know what I was gonna say. Something about cons, man. Why am I losing it? Anyway, I'm losing it. I'm losing my mind. But yeah, so then what are you working on next then, Greg? What do we expect to see you coming here?
All right.
The new project.
This is Geek Off the Street exclusive.
You're hearing it here first.
This yet? So
we don't even know yet ourselves. So.
So in November, a lot of authors participate. It used to be called NaNoWriMo, which was National November Novel Writing Month, and then now that organization is defunct, and now it's just called Novel November, and some other companies kind of host it.
Okay.
And the idea is to write 50,000 words in 1 month. And basically what it's trying to do is to tell people to write and get done with something. 50,000 is like a basic novel in a lot of genres. Obviously for epic fantasy or sci-fi, it's a little short, but the idea is to get out of your own way, get the stuff written, and then edit it later, right? And so for the first year, normally I haven't been in a good position to work on that in November. I've always either been editing or already almost done. And so this year I had just finished releasing By Archangel's Light, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do Novel November. I thought I was going to write some novellas that will lead into my next project. And as I got closer to the date, I was like, no, screw it. I'm starting the new project. So I started it, and the goal to hit 50,000 words, you have to do like 1,667 words a day or something like that. And some days you hit it, some days you don't, but you got to stay on track to hit the 50,000 words.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to report that I did that 50,000 words in November. And it's all in my new book that I'll tell you about in just a second.
Oh, so you finished writing at least the first.
I didn't finish. No, I didn't finish.
Oh, sorry.
I had started a little bit a week before.
Okay.
And then I've written a couple days afterwards. So I've got the current book, the new series starter, is about 60,000 words right now, which is about halfway-ish, I think. I'm not quite sure yet. So I'm in Act 2 now of the story.
Oh wow!
And so I'm really excited about that. And so it is a fantasy series.
Okay.
The series will be called The Willstone Legacy. This is exclusive. I think
Okay.
that's the first time I've said that.
The Willstone Legacy.
I'm already intrigued. Yeah.
The first book is called Birthright.
Okay.
And I had originally planned it to be maybe a 4-book series, but at this point in the writing process, I'm like, oh wow, it's going to be 6, at least 6. Could be more. We'll see.
Oh wow.
So any questions?
So you did it. Nice. Good job with that.
First of all, congratulations, man. I didn't know how far along you were with the new project. I know we talked about it last time we had you on the show.
Yeah.
Was it like last year we had you on the show, right? Or was it longer than that?
It was 2 years ago, yeah.
It was 2 years ago?
Wow, it's been a while. I think it was 2 years ago.
Wow, we did this show too long, man.
Yeah,
we need to call after this. This is our last episode. I think we're calling right here.
So you said it's going to be a fantasy genre.
Yes.
I don't know what to ask without saying too much.
You can ask anything, and I'll either tell you or I won't.
How much magic is in this.
Magic.
Okay, he has a very specific thing about the rules of the magic within a story.
Okay, well
in a
that's
genre.
going to be interesting.
So,
We'll
yeah.
see how it works. So magic plays a huge role in this series.
Okay.
The main character is cursed, and he is cursed to be ripped or teleported from wherever he is in the world and teleported to another part of the world every month. So anytime he gets like settled into a place, he knows that in 3 to 4, basically 4 weeks, he will be ripped and displaced and teleported to another place in the world. So kind of like Quantum Leap, but instead of jumping in time, he jumps in location.
Yeah,
and that happens every month. And so there's a reason that happens. I'm not sure how much I want to get into that. There's a reason
that's
that happens.
a good way to keep somebody from, ever doing anything. You can't get anything established.
So here's the deal.
Okay, all right, I'm listening. I'm listening.
The world is ruled by these, I call them ether lords, right? And their magic is basically location based. And so when they're at their center of magic, they are basically almost immortal. It's so hard to kill them.
Yeah.
The further away they get from their source of magic, the weaker they get. So for them, they like to stay close to home, right? And I'm not sure how much I want to tell, but he is connected to the ether lords.
I'm doing the math on it. Okay.
And so he jumps from place to place, time to time. He interacts sometimes with the ether lords. Sometimes they like him. Sometimes they don't. It kind of just depends.
Oh, it depends on who he deals with.
Depends on who he's
Ether Lord
dealing
he comes
with.
across.
Right.
Okay, I gotcha.
And I mean, obviously his goal is to not interact with them. But I don't think this is too much of a spoiler. It's background for the story. His family were ether lords at one point, and something happens in the past where they basically strip them of their power, and then that's when the curse begins. And so his line basically is, once the previous person in line dies off, the curse passes on to the next person. So that's why you almost never have any family because they're disappearing, right? And so there's a lot of like him. He's like, he has to be resourceful. He has to meet people very quickly. He has to learn to fit in very quickly.
Wow.
He kind of has to be scrappy. And he's learned a lot over his time. And he has a few friends that are helping him. He has a friend named Era. She's an apprentice ether lord, and she's kind of like the only one that's looking out for him. She helps him as much as she can. But again, at the beginning of this first book, Birthright, she hasn't seen him for 3 years, and then they reconnect, and there's a reunion, and so that's really good. And that's kind of where the adventures go off from there. And kind of what's really cool about this series, I think, I'm still writing it, and so we'll see what fan reaction is too once it's done, is because I'm jumping from place to place, it allows me to experiment and hit a lot of different fantasy tropes. Like one day he might be in a wizard's tower, the next month he might be on an island fighting pirates, or he could be with a mercenary company, or, all these different things happen. And so then he has to kind of try to keep his life together, even though he's always being ripped away. And so there's a lot of found family tropes involved. Kind of at certain points, he's not very happy with the whole system, the ether lord system. And so he's like, how can I either use the system for my benefit, or how do I he doesn't really get to the point where he wants to destroy the system, although there are some complications that will happen that will definitely lead him in some interesting directions.
I'm trying to think if I've ever really heard about that being the obstacle you've got to overcome. Like that's your dilemma. You've only got a few minutes here, so to speak.
Yep. Well, and think about it too, because he disappears somewhere. He has to figure out, am I someplace safe, right? So he's always worried about his safety, right? He needs to decide, is it close enough to try to get back to where I was, right? Maybe I'm in the middle of something, and can I get back to where I was? Or do I just have to wait for the next jump and maybe I'll be closer,
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
kinda-
Oh, and then
it's-
there's no way to contact who you were with before.
Well, I
because
have
it's
worked out some details
Okay,
that,
alright.
that maybe sometimes allow some communication.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with magic, anything is possible.
Right, yeah.
Kind of in the book one of the things that happens is his friend Aram builds him an amulet. And amulet, she puts it on him, and it kind of disperses the magic that builds up in him that causes him to jump. And so that's good for a while.
Yeah.
Until once when you have a curse and you deny the curse, when that thing comes off, what happens then? And so it leads for
That's
some
an
really
interesting,
interesting stuff. And the displacement is really painful. He has like physical effects. It's like he can do it, but then he's like super hungry, right? Because the magic has to gain energy from something. He's super hungry. He can't sleep. He has
you put some thought in the system. I like
anxiety. Yeah, so there's a lot of like interesting developments that he has to deal with. But then he's always has to think on his feet and how does he, move forward. And then sometimes he may end up in the middle of nowhere and he's like, oh, all right, I get to relax for a month,
Oh, God.
But that doesn't happen very often because that would be boring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like that could be maddening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you never have a moment of peace. It's like it's almost like not being able to sleep kind of thing.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like after a while, what does that do to you? Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm intrigued.
I'm about maybe, like I said, about maybe halfway done with the book so
Okay.
far. Goal is to finish the first draft by January, February.
Okay.
The one thing I want to really do with this book is I am going to take my time editing it, make sure it's like perfect.
Yeah.
I want an audiobook to come out at the same time I release it. I want hardback.
very cool.
I want to do
Nice.
I want to do it all with this
Ah,
book.
we're gonna
Yeah.
do it up
Go
with the
hard
first
in the
And
book.
this whole series. So yeah,
Nice, man.
All right, dude.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, well,
That sounds very cool.
the Willstone Legacy.
yeah, we'll still like to see. Yeah.
Yep. And
So-
book one is Birthright.
That's exciting, man. That's
Yeah.
super exciting. Do you have an
like that.
idea when you might be able to release it, or you?
I would definitely want to
Actually, like,
release it in 2026, as soon
Okay.
as possible in
Yeah.
2026, as
Gotcha.
long as I can make the audiobook happen and the hardback book happen. I want to do it all
Yeah.
at the same time. Yeah.
So are you doing it up more because of you have more of a connection to the story, or is it because you're a little more seasoned now and you kind of want to have a
Yeah.
different
So both. Yeah. A little
Okay.
bit of both. So the first story I ever wrote back like in 1997, I wrote like 400 pages, was kind of based on this, although
Oh.
it was a loose interpretation. This is a lot more developed, a lot
yeah.
better, because obviously I've improved in my writing, I've grown, I've matured as a human, and so I'm able to touch on things I couldn't have touched on back then. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a father now. I've seen more of the world. So, anyways, so there's a lot more experience going into this. So yeah. So part of it is because I'm. It's not the exact same story. I'm drawing like a lot of the names and a lot of the places are kind of going together, and some of the concepts, although I've really amped up the story and the stakes from what I had originally written that long time ago.
Nice. So that inspiration comes from back then. When you,
Yeah.
okay,
I always
fascinating.
wanted to go back
Yeah.
to this story, and
now's
so,
the
like I
time.
said, when it's been building up on me, it's been building up for a long time, but
Yeah.
like really started to hit me like last year, January. I was like, I really want to write this story.
Okay.
And then two, all of the audiobook, the hardback, those are all things. Yes, I have more experience now. I know how to
Just
do
about
it.
to say, right?
And so I want more options for the readers to buy. And what I know a lot of people now really like special edition hardback books and stuff. So I hope the story is well received enough to do those type of things with it.
Nice.
So got a lot of ideas at the Author Nation when I was there.
That's
Nice.
cool.
And Reader Nation.
And this is the next story you clearly want to do, because I know, like I said, you said before, you've got like 5 or 6 other stories just kind of floating around there. This is the one.
Yeah, this was the one that had
Right
to be
now.
next.
Got it. Cool.
Is it my best magnum opus? No, I still have some ideas that go further on.
Yeah.
Another story I want to do, it kind of ties into Mechhaven a little bit. Some of the characters show up, or one of the characters shows up towards the end of book 3, and then he plays a role in book 4 and 5 a little bit. I have a story about what his life was like on Earth when him and his brother were kids. And I really want to use that story I don't know if it'll be YA or not, but I want to use that story to encourage young people to read, especially young boys, because young boys really don't read much anymore.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm happy if young girls want to read too also.
Sure,
of course.
So I do have an idea for a space adventure story that would do that. And so that probably start at some point. That could be in parallel with the Willstone Legacy. Not quite sure.
Okay.
But I do. That's kind of like the more I talk to young kids, the more I talk to young readers, the more I want to put something out there that encourages people to read. So
Yeah, 100%. 100% on that. Because I don't think a lot of people, young people, do read that much. I mean, they can get instant, gratification from anything else, from their phone, their iPads, their TikToks and their Insta phonograms, all the stuff that they're into.
Yeah.
So you've already got like book 3 or 4 planned for that series.
Oh,
you're
that's
talking about you're going
series,
to have a Mechhaven character show up.
Yes,
and you said book 3 or 4. And that's like,
well, what's funny is that character existed before Mechhaven, and it wasn't until the end of book 3 that I was like, this problem is only solved by this other character. And so I was like, I'm writing him into Mechhaven.
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah.
But you got to wait till the very end. So if you're not at the end, you wouldn't have encountered
Yeah. No, I'm still working my way to it.
So, it'll be basically its core story is about 2 brothers and what happens with these 2 brothers when there's an alien invasion of Earth and then they get pulled out into space. Yeah. It'll be fun. Trust me.
yeah,
That's exciting.
for the kids.
That's super
That's cool.
exciting.
Very
Yeah. So I'm glancing at your paperwork here. I don't want to move you along here, but not a chosen one story. What does that mean?
Yeah. So kind of the idea with the Willstone Legacy is the main character Landros. He's Landros Willstone. He is not a chosen one. It's not a chosen one. I love chosen one stories, and I love the hero's quest and all that stuff. But that's not what this is. He's cursed. He's the last in the line of these ether lords who were deposed, and he's got to figure out how to live. And so his deal is, all right, I'm going to try to live my best life I can live as possible, even though I have all these things against me. And he has a friend, Era, who's helping him out a little bit whenever she can. And so basically it's a character-driven fantasy, and he's a wanderer. He's forced to wander the world against his will, but he also has hope, right? He has hope that someday he'll be able to, dispel his curse and live a normal life. He wants to own a shop when he gets older. Just because he wants to stay in one place and do nothing after being, displaced every month for your life.
Have a shop somewhere. That's cool.
Yeah. So, and then he meets people all the time, so he knows people. The problem is he's never necessarily sees the same people twice or doesn't for a really long time, and so so he has magic. He can, but it's real passive. He can sense magic, and if he touches a magic item, he can tell you its lore, everything about it, and which makes him sometimes very useful or inconvenient for the ether lords that are in charge of the world. So it just depends on the situation.
Very cool.
Sometimes they want his help,
this world,
and sometimes they wish he would just drop off of it. But there are rules because his family was former ether lords. They can't just off him.
Yeah,
they can put him in situations that make it hard for him to live, but they can't kill him directly.
That's a very magical thing to do.
Yeah,
that's a very magical thing to do.
There's guardrails on this curse. Yeah,
interesting.
Man,
that's very cool.
Dude, I'm super intrigued.
The world is already kind of rich, man.
It's crazy how I'm writing the basics and I got to go back and add this. I got to go back and add that. Oh, this is going to tie into this later on. And there's stuff. It's okay. Blame me for watching One Piece. There's stuff that happens in the very, very beginning of the story and characters you meet at the beginning of the story that you think are nothing. And then they will play an important role later on. So it's really kind of cool.
Very cool.
Thank you. Sensei Oda for teaching us that.
One Piece.
That's cool. I did see that because I enjoy Chosen One Hero's Journey too, but I get a little. just a little tired of the are the chosen one.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's that specific scene where it's somebody telling someone you're the chosen one. I just get a little. There's got to be better ways to do it, right?
Yeah,
right.
It's a little bit like,
And
I'm the chosen one.
Right. There there's no regular people that are stepping up to the plate and doing whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's
I think we're all on that same page a little bit. You're saying like we all love, like a good chosen one story, but like another chosen one story.
No, we don't need another chosen one story. I mean, if you want to write it, go ahead and write it. But I mean, that's not this story.
Yeah. If you want to break from that, geez.
Yeah, exactly. So very refreshing. Very refreshing to hear that.
Yeah, dude. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
I'm excited too.
We're gonna write it right now. You stay there.
So every night after work or every weekend, I am like plugging away on this story. So
the determination here, man.
Yep.
The focus.
Yep. I want this story out. Yep.
That's cool.
Cool.
I know you're saying like you're thinking like maybe somewhere at the beginning of next year.
That's when I'll finish. That's when I'll finish.
Okay, but then
January, February, then editing.
Then you gotta
try to get it out next year at some point.
Sometime in 2026 will be my goal.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just another interesting thing. Like that goes into writing a book. It's not just I wrote the book and that's it. And I feel like we kind of hit on this before, but you write the book, but then it's got to get edited. You have to do some rewrites. You got to, determine covers. You got to get an audio. You talk about getting an audio book. I
definitely want audio on this.
You got to do all this different stuff to. It's not just writing a book. And
you're packaging an IP basically. You're developing an IP that hopefully someday somebody might want to make a movie out of, or a cartoon or something.
There you go. Yeah. We'll make the movie someday.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We get it figured out. Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.